So where is Venice, Florida located? That's probably a question you're asking yourself as you guys did stumble across this video. Hey friends, it's Noah, your favorite Sarasota real estate broker, and in this video, we are going to be breaking down the whole entire geographical aspects of Venice. If you guys don't know, Venice is a small, quaint coastal town here in Southwest Florida. I'm super excited to share with you a Google map or an aerial view of what Venice looks like, along with where are the nearest cities, where are the nearest beaches, shopping, restaurants, schools, and so much more. We're actually popping into my computer behind me to talk to you all about Venice. But before we jump in and start talking all about Venice, if you guys are looking to move to the Venice area, remember we have a dedicated buyer's relocation guide specifically for you guys looking to move to this area. So go click that link down in the description, along with if you are looking for new construction, you're tired of dealing with the headaches of competing with buyers for new construction, because when a new construction house pops up that's actually really desirable, it goes in a blink of an eye. So it's important that you guys get ahead of it. We work with a lot of builders in the area. So if you want to join our 100% free exclusive VIP email list, go click the link down below. I'm just going to ask you a few brief questions about location and a few other things for you guys. You guys fill that out, I'll reach out to you and we'll have a personalized search set up exactly for you, and I'll reach out to builders on your behalf. So with all that being said, let's go and explore Venice, Florida. So now that we're into my computer, let's dive deep into the directional aspects of where Venice is located and some of the more popular attractions in the area. So we're gonna first start off by zooming all the way out to look at it from a bird's eye view, or even a bigger view, satellite view, whatever you want to call it. But as you guys can see here, we have Venice highlighted over here. It's a very small dot on the map right now, but we see the whole state of Florida pretty much. Venice is located in Southwest Florida on the Gulf. What's cool about Venice is that it is a small coastal town. It's a very quaint, quiet town. I absolutely love it. You'll see other videos of me doing it, talking about Venice and everything like that. But as we keep scrolling, you're going to see that Fort Myers is to the south by about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the time of day. You have Cape Coral to the south. Then you have Sarasota to the north, Tampa to the north. So you're kind of between, it's pretty much exactly between two of the bigger cities here on the Gulf Coast, Fort Myers and then Tampa, right? So you have a couple different options when it comes to huge or bigger cities, I should say, even though Sarasota is now relatively a decent sized city of its own. But as we keep scrolling in here, you're going to see different small sub-communities: Osprey, Vamo, Laurel, Nokomis. You're going to see Venice Gardens, South Venice. This whole area is all part of Venice too. You guys can see if we change it, it'll pop up over here. Now, Welland Park is huge, between the huge debate: is it in Venice, is it in Northport, which one really is it in? A lot of residents are fighting over it. Welland Park wants to be their own little annex city out of the area. In total, they've been trying, but it hasn't gone through just yet. But we'll go back to talking about Venice. So as you guys can see here, Venice is pretty well developed. As we're looking here, there's not much room for growth. So all the growth of the new construction is all heading east, which leads into Welland Park. And if you guys don't know what Welland Park is, it's a master plan community made up of about 22,000 residents and about 63,000 or 22,000 homes and 63,000 residents when it's going to be fully built out. But as you guys can see, it is not fully built out just yet. It's going to take several more years for it to be built out. But there is a Costco coming in here, which is everyone's favorite thing here, is going to be a Costco. And then if you guys don't know, the Atlanta Braves practice facility, Cool Today Park, is right here as well. It's a very nice park. I have a video talking about Welland Park and everything like that, so be sure to go and check that video out as well. But Venice also does have a lot of bigger box retailers: Home Depot, Walmart, Target, has some other bigger places here as well. But I absolutely love Venice because it feels like it's a small, quaint coastal town, right? And what's cool about Venice is that we have the small downtown area of Venice. So a lot of people come to Venice Island because there's a lot of different things you can do here. So you can go shopping at these boutique stores. You can park. It's literally, you can park here. Parking's not hard to find. You park here. You can go shopping at these boutique shops. Go have some homemade ice cream, which is absolutely amazing, fresh made gelato. And then you can take a 7 to 10 minute walk directly to the beach through this nice park to hit Venice Beach. And then you can drive down to Caspersen Beach as well. Or if you want to go fishing, you can hit up the Venice Fishing Pier. I absolutely love Venice Island just because of its, small town vibes, and it has more of an old feel to it, old Florida feel, versus a new modern contemporary kind of cold feel, right? So it's a very nice and cool little place. Plus you have Venice High School here as well, but we'll talk about all that soon. But let's dive in a little bit closer to the different areas. So like I told you, Venice or Sarasota is to the north, which Sarasota is now one of the bigger cities in this area. It's probably the biggest city closest to Venice right now, and it takes me about 25 minutes to get from Sarasota to Venice because I live in Sarasota. And then from Venice to Northport over here, it is once again about 25 minutes to get from Northport to Venice too. So with that being said, let's start talking about the beach options here. So we did talk about it a little bit briefly, but let's talk about it a little bit more in depth. So what's cool about Venice is that we have the Venice Jetty. So the Venice Jetty is where a lot of boats come in and out for the intercoastal waterways. And so there is a North Jetty and a South Jetty. So what's cool is you have these turquoise blue waters. They're absolutely amazing, and you'll fall in love with them once you come here. It's a great area for swimming in the intercoastals. A lot of people park their boats here on the weekends or during the weekdays, and basically they just beach it for the whole day, which is cool because the water's super warm. It's very nice. A lot of people go fishing here just because it's a deep channel. A lot of fish go in and out of this area as well. But talking about beaches, that leads us to where the different beaches are. So obviously we talked about Venice Beach, which is over here. And if we keep heading south, you are going to have Caspersen Beach. So Caspersen Beach is another beach part of Venice Beach. And what's cool about Caspersen Beach is that you can find shark's teeth, right? So Venice is basically the shark tooth capital of the world. A lot of people don't know that, but you can find amazing fossilized shark's teeth. A recent person found a big one. I think it was about this big in size, it's absolutely crazy. It was a big black shark's tooth. It was really cool to see, and I think that they were snorkeling to go find that just off the shore of Caspersen or Venice Beach. I can't remember which one. But if you have furry friends, we are pet friendly here in Venice. So we have Brohard Paw Park, right? So Brohard Paw Park is also a leash. You don't have to have your dogs on a leash for this beach, but it is a stretch of between Venice and Caspersen Beach that you are allowed to have your dog roam freely as long as you're watching them, and as long as they're not aggressive or anything like that. They are going to have a lot of fun with other dogs. So I really like it. I've taken my dog several times to the paw park. They have the beach, and then they have also a play park area, a wash station, everything like that for your dogs as well, because we all know dogs get sandy. They love rolling in the sand and so forth, right? So, and then if we want to talk about other beaches outside of Venice, you guys can go up from the south side of the jetty all the way to the north side of the jetty, which you got to go all the way around Venice Island, go up here and go over here to Nokomis Public Beach. Nokomis is a nice little beach to go to. I go to it very often just because it's one of the closest beaches and more quieter beaches for me. And honestly, it's a very nice beach to go to as well. So that's one option. And then if you want to go to Siesta Key Beach, which is over here, it's going to take you about 25 minutes to 30 minutes. I'm not going to say 30 minutes, about 25 minutes from Venice to get to Siesta Key, just depending on where you're exactly going and along with what time you are leaving, depending on how backed up or busy 41 is at the time. But your other beach is going to be Siesta Key Beach. Obviously, everyone knows Siesta Key because it's a world famous beach. You also have Lido Key Beach over here. But if you guys want to head south a little bit, we can head south here to Minnesota Key Beach area. This is a nice little area. It's also known as a mini Siesta Key. Parking is not that great here. There's not a lot of parking, especially when it gets busy. However, it is a nice beach to go to if you live in Venice. And then you can obviously go to Blind Pass Beach, go down here to Boca Grande over here. It's a nice little area to go to for a day trip or a weekend getaway, whatever it may be. This is a nice and cool area to check out. But as you guys can see, Venice is kind of in the center of a lot of beaches to go explore. And I didn't even go even further north into Anna Maria, Longboat Key, St. Armand Circle, Lido Key, all those different places, right? So trust me when I say you have plenty of beaches to choose from when you live in Venice. Now let's talk about another popular thing that everyone talks about. Where are the nearest grocery stores? So as you guys can see, Venice is a very densely populated area, which means we are going to have quite a few grocery stores. So what's cool about Venice, and I alluded to it, is that we have bigger box retailers here. So we have Home Depot, Target, Walmart, and there's a bunch of other places too. However, what's cool is that we have a Detweiler's Farmers Market. Now they're not a big big grocery store, for example. However, they are one of the most popular here in the area. So I absolutely love this area just because Detweiler's, it allows you to buy fresh produce, fresh veggies, fresh fruits, fresh caught seafood, along with grass-fed beef and all these other different things, right? And it is actually at a reasonable price. It's not a Whole Foods price. It's not a Publix price, which Publix is our bigger grocery store here in the Sarasota, Southwest Florida area. It's not as big as them. They're not as expensive, but yet you get fresh local produce. I go to Detweiler's at least once a week. I live in Sarasota, so I go to the Detweiler's up there as well. But Detweiler's, I highly recommend when you're going there. But nonetheless, no matter where you live in Venice, you're a very short drive to a Publix, one of our bigger grocery stores here. Now let's talk about schools, because everyone asked me, okay, well, what about schools here? So Venice is part of going in the whole Sarasota County school district system. So you are going to have several different schools when it comes to Venice. So let's start with the elementary schools. You have several elementary schools in Venice too. We'll separate it because it's easier for everyone to see. All right, so when we look here, we're going to spread it out to a couple different elementary schools. So you have Venice Elementary School, which is on the island. You have Taylor Ranch Elementary School, which is down here closer to the Welland Park area. Garden Elementary School over here. Laurel Nokomis, which is up here. And then you are going to have some other Montessori charter schools, everything like that, right? So there are several elementary schools to choose from. You are going to have, what else do we have? We have middle schools. So over here, you do have several middle schools to choose from. It all depends on what area you're in, but really the biggest one that most people go to is Venice Middle School. Now, obviously, there's different academies, Christian schools, some other charter schools as well, but that's going to be the biggest one for middle schools. And then we will go to the high school, which we already talked about at the beginning, which is going to be here on the island. The biggest one is going to be Venice High School over here. So depending on the time of day, everything like that, school traffic could impede on the bridges a little bit. So just be aware of that, just because the high school is on the island. So as you guys can see, you're pretty much in a short drive of any school district, or any school, I should say. And now let's talk about some other things here, such as going to be some of the bigger attractions here in Venice, right? So let's talk about, for all my golfers, right? So everyone's like, oh, well, come here to Florida to golf. So you're not going to lack out on the available golf courses. As you guys can see here, we have a whole entire list of golf courses. I don't even know how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have about 15 golf courses all here into Venice, and they all range from different price ranges, as cheap to very expensive. Just depends on what your level of play is, how competitive you are, what shape you like the golf course to be in. But I've golfed at several of these. I can't complain. They are very nice golf courses. I golf a lot in Sarasota, and there's a lot of golf courses there as well. So golf is absolutely huge down here. And now let's go into more. So since we already talked about fishing as the attraction, beaches are the attraction, golfing is a big attraction here. Let's talk about where the nearest airports are to Venice. So you have a couple different options when it comes to airports. And when I say airports, I'm going to talk about bigger airports that are more international airports that basically fly out of everywhere. Because you have Punta Gorda down here if you fly Allegiant, which is probably the closest one. And then you're going to have Sarasota International Airport, which flies most carriers. They are doing a $70 million terminal expansion. And then we have Tampa up here, which is an hour and a half from Venice. And then you also have Clearwater over here. And then if you do want to go south, you can go down to Fort Myers, which I don't go down to Fort Myers at all. But I have flown out of the Fort Myers airport. I personally prefer Sarasota. It's quick, easy. It's a little bit more expensive than Tampa or Fort Myers, but it is definitely worth it because I get through TSA in a matter of, I get dropped off and I'm sitting at my gate within 5 minutes. And I'm not joking when I say that. I have not had an issue with TSA, but I go through the pre-check line. I do not have any issue with TSA in SRQ airport. It takes me 5 minutes. I did have to go through it one time without my pre-check. That took me 10 minutes. So it was not bad at all. That's why I like it. Tampa is very similar. It takes me about 10 minutes to get through TSA and get to my gate. However, people that don't have pre-check can take half hour, 45 minutes, just depending on what time of day, where you're going, and everything like that. So those are your options for airports. So that kind of wraps up our video talking about where exactly Venice is located, some of the bigger attractions here, beaches, grocery stores, airports, shopping, and everything like that, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about moving to the Venice area. And remember, guys, if you are looking to move to the Venice area, definitely reach out to us with any questions, and we'll try to answer it to the best of our knowledge, along with just checking out all of our other videos we have here on our YouTube channel, as that is the main purpose of our YouTube is being as informative as possible. So if you guys have any other suggestions for videos you want to see, put them in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to be on our exclusive VIP email list, promise you it's not going to be spam, talking about new construction, exactly what you're looking for. You fill out a quick form so we get to know you a little bit better. Click that link down in the bottom of the description down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys on that email list. But with all that being said, I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and we will catch you guys all next week.